In today's episode of Melanated Conversations, we amplify the voice of Imani Jones. Imani is the founder and CEO of the global creative agency Find Your ID NYC that specializes in brand development and strategy, talent representation, and content curation. Imani is also the event producer of the Exchange Fashion Festival, X Sound Music Series, and the Intersection Art and Fashion Pop-Up Shop. Listen in as Imani shares with us her passion for fashion, culture, and photography, as well as her international tenure in Italy, and how she has expanded her network and leveraged her creative platform that reaches across the globe. Welcome to Melanated Conversations, our narrative from our perspective.
Here on the podcast, we are amplifying the voices of Black women and sharing their powerful stories of transformation.
I'm Tyrion.
And I'm Yana. Let's start the show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Melanated Conversations. I am your co-host, Tyrion.
And I'm your co-host, Yana.
Yes, and today we have a very special guest on the line with us, founder and CEO of Find Your ID NYC, Imani Jones. Welcome, Imani.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for saying yes and joining us today. We are so excited to chat with you all things creative and just tap into your wonderful brain and branding and all that stuff. So we cannot wait to chat with you today. Yana, did you have something you want to say really quick?
No, I'm just excited. Y'all can't see Imani right now, but if y'all could see her in this fabulous what she is serving today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Giving me Black goddess vibes. Like, I'm loving it. She looks beautiful. And I'm sorry that we are not actually recording this on camera because y'all are missing out. But she's gorgeous.
But stay tuned to the, just visit us on the social media. You'll see.
Absolutely.
You'll see.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Well, before we get into our melanated chat portion of the conversation, Imani, Yana and I always like to play a little game with our guests to just kind of loosen up, get us vibing together or whatever. And so we're going to play a little round of our special game called Don't Drop the Mic. And we will ask you a question, and Yana and I will also answer these questions as well. So you're not alone. Don't feel like, don't be scared or anything like that. This is fun. We'll have a little fun. Okay. Are you ready? Go ahead, Yana. Take it away.
All right. Well, let's have a little fun. Well, we like to have fun.
We have fun, period.
In general. Yeah. So like just relax a little bit. Well, okay. So I have a couple questions I'm going to throw out, and I just pulled these from a deck. So these are questions for both Terry and I too, as she mentioned. First one I'm going to throw out is, what is the weirdest thing you find attractive in a person?
That's a good one. That is a good one. I would say the weirdest thing that I find attractive in a person, weirdest thing, probably the way they talk to their family, the way they talk to their mom, or their dad or whoever it is. If you can see how they treat the people that are closest to them, that for some reason is really attractive to me. If they treat those people with respect and, lovingly, and how they have little nicknames for them, those things really, really are attractive to me, because that shows that they, are really connected, well-grounded, well-rooted, and have a strong support circle around them. So yeah, I think that's
I love that answer. You went deep.
I know. I was like, she gave such a wholesome answer. I'm over here
I feel like mine's gonna be real superficial, and I'm over here like, dude, let me try to be deep.
Exactly. Nope, I ain't gonna be deep. I'm not.
You're not gonna get these. What would you guys say?
Listen, I'm married. My husband know. He know what I'm 11 years in. The weirdest thing, I don't know necessarily if this is weird. I feel like there are a couple of things. But I would have to say this is not a weird thing, but I think like your personality, like if you can make me laugh, like if you're funny, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness, especially like pre-husband, you know what I'm saying? Like you could almost be, I'm not gonna say you could be a dog. You could have been a dog in the family. No, but but you could have not been the most attractive person in the room. And if you were funny, I'd be like, oh my goodness, like that was intriguing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you could draw me in like that and just like where I felt comfortable enough to where I could just, laugh my socks off. No.
Yep.
But you know what I mean?
That's a big one. That's definitely
if you can make me laugh, definitely. And then teeth are nice too.
Right, that says a lot about a person.
Yeah. Teeth is important. Yana, what about you?
I like both of y'all's answers actually. And Terry and Imani, I don't know if we shared this or not, but Terry and I are actually cousins, first cousins.
Oh, see, I could have picked up on that. Yep, the energy was definitely there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, her dad and my mom are brother and sister. So, so when Terry mentions about the funny aspect, and also how you mentioned too about, how they interact with our family, I feel like that is key for us because that's how our family naturally vibes. So I agree with both of those. But my answer, don't laugh at me when I say this.
See, I'm gonna laugh.
Laugh at me. I can laugh, but the weird thing that I find attractive in a person is if they have clean nails. I can't do a dirty nail.
Preach. Preach.
I don't know, y'all. Were you saying anybody?
So she's talking about somebody you know.
You know what, Yana? Those are big, big facts. Because listen, if I see your hands and your hands look like your finger done slipped through the toilet tissue.
Oh Lord.
You didn't fold it up enough times. You don't have 2-ply. I don't know. You ain't got that strong toilet tissue. That's a problem. That's nasty. You are nasty, and I don't want to have nothing to do with you.
I mean, I don't mind. I mean, it works with his hands, but
no,
keep your nails clean underneath. That crevice. If I see like dirt and it's just I don't know.
It's unnecessary.
I mean, it could be because I'm very what's the word? You squeamish when you're a germaphobe. I'm a germaphobe. Okay. So nails, and that goes for men and women.
I agree.
I just don't. Just keep your nails clean,
please.
Oh, I don't want to think about people that's cooking my food and they got dirty nails. Okay, I'm going off topic, but
no, you're not.
Dirty nails. If you're someone who really keeps your nails clean, and I ain't saying like you got to get a manicure, but just keeping your nails clean.
Yeah. That's huge.
It's the little things in life.
Absolutely, Money. It is the little things.
And if you don't want to do that, just bite your nails off. You don't have to worry about keeping them clean.
No, don't bite them because that's nasty too. Now you got the dirt that was under your fingernails in your mouth.
Exactly.
No, but my husband knows that about me, and he's like, "Oh gosh, let me make sure." Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was about to go down a rabbit hole because I see people holding babies and they got dirty nails. I'm like, no, clean your hands, clean your nails. All right, I'm gonna go off of that one. The next question that I have is, what do you think is the most unpleasant sounding word?
Unpleasant sounding word.
And if you need some time to think, I can divert it to Tyrion first.
Yeah, let me think about that one.
Oh, okay. So here's my thing. I don't necessarily have a word that comes to mind off the top of my head that's like an unpleasant sounding word. I would have to really sit and think for a while. But okay, there are two words though. So one word I hear a lot of people say that bothers them, and I don't know why it bothers them, but it tends to bother a lot of people.
It
People
might
don't
be
like
the
the
word I'm
word.
about to say.
Is it moist?
Yes. Oh, girl, that was my word. Yeah.
Moist.
Just, I don't know. I get like, and I guess it goes back to my germaphobe vibe. I get like, I just feel it sounds like it gives me mildewy type. I don't like it. Just
She
say
don't like it.
I don't like it.
The other word is angina, which I don't know if you heard of that. It has something to do with the heart. I don't know if it's like a heart condition or heart something, like if somebody's had like a heart attack but it's called angina. And it just makes me think of other things. And I'm like, why they couldn't find another vowel consonant, you know what I mean, situation no, they couldn't. It's just a weird sounding word to me. Or maybe my mind just is dirty. So. I don't know. No, that's my word. Those are my words. I don't know.
Did you have one, Imani?
Angina. I don't think I have like a word that really I dislike that much. But weird sounding words.
Mm-hmm.
I think squiggle is a weird sounding word.
Yeah.
Squiggle is a really weird sounding word, but it also does give you an idea of what it means in the word.
That's true.
Which is kind of cool. You can kind of imagine what that would be. But yeah, I mean, yeah, most of my words I feel would be more in Italian that I don't really like. But yeah. English, I think that's the only one I could think of.
Awesome. Yeah, and for I guess we will talk about that too, but Imani spends a great deal of her time in Italy. So we're gonna get into that. Anytime show she can a couple Italian words that we can use.
Right. All I know is Roma, Italia. That's all I got.
Oh wow. That's a start. It's
only because I've been. That's yeah.
Oh, you've been to Rome?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Beautiful.
It is.
I roamed in my head, but I ain't never physically.
Hey, that's a start. It's a start. Okay.
Right, you have to visualize it first, and then
you have to manifest. It starts with the business. Come on. I'm halfway there. Well, with COVID, who knows? Maybe a minute before I'm actually physically there.
Good
and everything.
All right. Well, thank you, Imani, for being a good sport and playing with us.
Yes, that was so much fun.
Yes. Well, we're not going to hold you. We want to get into the meat of our conversation. I'm sure our listeners are as excited like we are to hear more about you and all the great things that you have going on. So, Terry, you want to go ahead and kick off?
Yeah. So we're going to kick off our melanated chat. So, Imani, who is Imani Jones? What are your roots? Can you share with us and our listeners a little bit about you?
Okay. Yeah. So I am the founder and CEO of Find Your ID NYC. We're a global creative agency. I actually was born and raised in New York City, born in Queens, New York, grew up in Queens, and moved to Italy when I was about 19 years old. Was back and forth between Milan and New York for the bulk of my career postgraduate. But I did start my education at Brooklyn College, which is here in NYC as well, before transferring to Bocconi University in Milan. And since then, I've been working on my MBA right now. I'm currently studying at Howard University. I have a lot of new projects that we just launched, including a clothing brand called Color Co. That actually just launched this month. We launched an e-commerce platform called Shop Local Designers, which we'll probably get into later. And yeah, just been working on our creative projects, really helping, emerging and established brands here in the US and abroad to continue to grow their businesses. And me personally, I'm an avid traveler. I've traveled to 26 countries. I'm fluent in Italian and English, and yeah, just very, very much into culture, diversity, learning and growing. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I always don't know what to say with those questions because I feel like I'm all over the place, but I hope that was enough.
No, that's great. Yeah, that's great. I was just going to ask, do you have any siblings?
I do. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I'm the oldest actually. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Trailblazer.
Yeah.
Well,
That was
Tyrion and I stand a cultured being.
yes.
We're going to soak it all in today.
Yes.
So yes, thank you for sharing a little bit about that experience. So I want to know about your, you say you moved to Milan when you were 19. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey and how you guys started there and your educational experience there in general?
Yes, for sure. So, yeah, how I got to Italy. Well, I was at Brooklyn College studying, and we actually had to take a language as a part of my program. And I was already fluent in Spanish, so I figured that it would be relatively easy to switch over to Italian, but it actually wasn't. I did, though, develop my interest in Italian and actually wanted to go there to become fluent and really learn more about the culture and the people. And so I did my first study abroad with Brooklyn College, and I went to Perugia, Italy, which is in the Umbria region. And then from there, once I got to study there for the summer, I realized that I definitely wanted to come back and continue my studies. So when I came back home, I started to do some research and started to apply for scholarships and schools out there. I did get accepted into Bocconi University, which is the top business school in Italy. And I was able to win 8 scholarships from my school and other organizations to go there. So was able to win quite a bit of money, and that enabled me to really start my my travels and my journey there. And so a year later, I actually went back to start studying in Milan. So that's how I got started in it, and everything kind of started to spiral from there. But that's how I originally got over there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I saw how you threw, what did you say? What was the name of the town or the city?
Perugia.
Perugia?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Yeah.
she put the Italian accent on it. I'm making up words now.
Ruin of the
Accentation.
tongue.
I love
Yeah.
that. Did you have like culture shock being 19? Because I can imagine being 19 and traveling abroad, you know what I mean, for the first time. Did you have like some sort of culture shock or anything?
For sure, for sure. I mean, there was definitely culture shock. I mean, when I first started to go there, there were still relatively few, African Americans that were living there. There are a lot of African people that, live in Italy and Afro-Italians. But African Americans, there was a relatively small group, which actually there's a Facebook group online for Black Americans living in Italy. And I joined that group, and, there were like not even 100, maybe 100, maybe just 100 people there that were in the group. And just walking around on the streets, everybody was kind of, stopping me and asking to touch my hair all the time, and taking pictures of me when I wasn't looking and things like that. So there were definitely those experiences where you feel like an outsider, but I would say it was never really offensive. It was more just intrigue, and also just curiosity from the people wanting to know more about who I was and why I was there. So for sure there was a bit of culture shock, but it definitely wasn't. I didn't receive many racist remarks, and that was great, because I really wouldn't have gone back if that were the case.
Yeah.
Stay for a prolonged period. So definitely felt, that people were genuinely happy to see me when I was there. And that's great, because you want to feel welcome wherever you travel. And I think Italy's still one of the few places in Europe that you really go there and feel like you can start a life there, So
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, it's interesting. Went to Rome, and I noticed, and I don't know if because you lived in Italy, I was only there for like a week, but
Okay.
I noticed I would see a lot of Italian men with Black or African women. I noticed that a lot just walking around the city. Was that something common that you noticed, or because I know you talked about how just people were intrigued by like your hair, or even, sometimes even your skin or something like that. But did you notice like a dynamics where you saw like a lot of Italian men with Black women over there?
Oh, definitely, definitely. And that's something that you will see a lot of. For sure. I think there's definitely an attraction there, with Italian men, that they definitely do gravitate towards Black women, but not just Black women. I think in general, they are just really international. They like to travel in Italy, so they're super open-minded, romantically, I would say. And so that is super popular there, I would say, for sure. Out of all the countries in Europe, I think Italy is maybe the hotspot for interracial dating.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Definitely, definitely.
Now, before did you take, you started taking up photography. Did you take that up like after you started traveling abroad, or was this something you had always kind of been interested in?
Yeah, so actually photography, I started learning about photography in my freshman year in college, and I had a group of friends that we sort of started our own photography company, and we're doing events and things like that. So I was already kind of doing work in that area before I went there. And then for sure, while I was there, I was able to expand my interest into also travel photography and travel blogging. So I got into that while I was traveling. But yeah, definitely was able to expand my portfolio while I was living over there as well.
Right. And you became a broadcast journalist also in Milan. Is that correct?
Yes, so that actually happened once I graduated. I graduated in finance and marketing,
Okay.
with a major in finance and minor in marketing. And so my first job out of college was actually working as a TV journalist in Italy, in Milan, and I was doing technical analysis and financial reporting for Le Fonti Media Group, which is a media publication that really specializes in finance, legal, and asset management. So, yeah, I had my own show that I was doing there, that was reporting on the Italian stock market every day. And then I also was able to start a show that was about expats in Italy. So I got to interview a lot of Americans that had moved to Italy to start their own businesses. And so the show was actually called All About Business, all about business in Italy, but featuring expat entrepreneurs. So that was really fun. And yeah, I was doing that right after graduation. So I was definitely very fortunate to land that role, and it enabled me to travel and do conferences with them. So I was hosting financial conferences in Naples and Hong Kong. and, just really able to expand in the financial market. So yeah, that was right after I graduated.
Wow. We're talking about moving and shaking.
Yes.
If moving and shaking was a person.
Oh man, it was definitely a lot of work. It was super challenging because the show was in Italian, and even though I was fluent by that time, it was a completely different vocabulary. You're learning the financial terminology, and also converting, those uh, converting all of the numbers in your head in real time, and also, using your financial knowledge in real time. So it was definitely challenging to be able to keep up with it being my second language. So being able to do the All About Business show was kind of a breather where I could actually speak with Americans in English as well. But for the Italian version of the show, I was definitely working, 12-hour days for sure.
Wow.
So
Wow.
mhm.
I would expect though that being so versatile and navigating in this different space, you were able to build relationships with individuals, especially in the business world. That's an assumption I'm making. How did that impact your business relationships being in Italy and traveling in other all over the world?
Definitely working with La Fonte, I was able to expand my contacts in the financial industry. And so I had a lot of business owners and also entrepreneurs and CEOs that were in my, Rolodex of contacts now, which was really great. I also was able to bring in a lot of businesses that I was interested in working with, because outside of just the financial show, I was also doing the business show. And so I was able to interview a lot of companies that I personally was interested in, because I was also one of the producers of the show. So I got to really select those companies that I would like to work with, and was able to, meet them and develop relationships with them firsthand. But outside of La Fonte and the work I was doing there, I was still modeling as well. So I had a lot of fashion designers that I was meeting, and, being able to also introduce them to the media publication was great, because, they could potentially advertise through those magazines and through the TV shows. And so I was still able to, explore my external interests, which were always in fashion and music and the arts. So I was able to do some articles and features on those businesses as well. So yeah, for sure, I was saying working in media was a great, great opportunity to really just get my name out there, connect with other journalists, connect with other media and PR contacts. And so it was just really an open door for me to connect with anyone that I was potentially interested in. So yeah, it was definitely a great way to start building a career. And by the time I left Milan, it was like I already knew everyone in the city. So it was really a great way to, get your foot in the door for sure.
Awesome. I'm telling you, relationships make all the difference in, how you can grow and scale your business. So the fact that you are able to leverage those is awesome. Let's kind of talk about your businesses in general, starting with, Find Your ID NYC. Can you tell listeners a little bit about it and the work that you're doing with your organization?
Yeah, so Find Your ID actually launched it first in Italy, and that was really more of the consulting and marketing work that I was doing with Italian brands. And then when I came back to New York, I was able to continue building those relationships and helped Italian brands first start to build their networks here in the US, and also to market themselves and develop their brands in the American market. And so originally, we wanted to be a connection for brands that were internationally minded and were looking to have a US team that could help them create their content, on site, create their editorials, help them to get into stores, help them to do pop-ups and activations. And so we were doing a lot of work with international brands initially. And then we started to expand more into the New York market. Once I fully relocated to New York, started to really focus more on the American market, but always with what we did, we tried to reach out to international brands in different regions that wanted to connect with Americans. And so yeah, Find Your ID, we're really a one-stop shop for brands, especially emerging and, small to medium-sized businesses that are looking to develop their websites, create marketing campaigns, social media content, videos, any type of creative content that they need to elevate their brands. And then we started to do our event production based on really a need from our clients to have these collective style events where the costs are driven down because there are multiple vendors and brands that are being represented. So most of the time when you see our shows, those are brands that we represent or work with. And we'll do collective pop-up shops and fashion shows and brand activations to really help them to deliver their message. So yeah, that's kind of what we do at Find Your ID in a nutshell.
That's dope. I like that. I love that a lot. What inspired you to go the creative route? Like you said, you always had kind of like a love for the arts in general, but was there something in particular that was like, hey, like this is the route I want to go with branding and social media and fashion and combining everything into one?
Yeah, so I really love photography. That's definitely one of my passions. That's something I would do for free every day, and so with photography, I knew that I could use that to help brands to create content and to also, create their social media strategies and help them to deliver their marketing messages. And so I was able to tie in my passion for photography with my educational background in marketing and branding. And so really join those together. We had to expand from just photography because it is sadly a dying industry, I would say, especially financially. There are just so many people that are doing photography for such below market rates that, we had to offer additional services. So we started to expand into videos and to animations, to promo materials and, any type of creative materials that those brands would need. We started to develop a team of creatives that could actually deliver and were the best in those specialized fields. But, I definitely knew that I wanted to continue doing something where I could use my ideas and also my love for photography to, to offer a unique service to brands. And that's why I started to do this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How was it like starting, like getting like actual, I know you got the concept and, just actually making the bold step to actually execute and really get, what was the process like for you in starting this initiative with your business?
So the process starting, it really came down to at the time that I was deciding whether or not I wanted to continue to build Find Your ID full time. I was still working with LaFonte Media, and I was consulting on the side. But I was actually unable to go back to Milan because essentially there was a wave of really xenophobia across Europe, and my visa just kept getting denied, even though I'd already studied there. I already had a work permit to be there, but they weren't willing to renew it. So I was kind of at this crossroad where I was working here for LaFonte in New York, but I'm making a Italian salary, right, which is nothing and compared to what you need to live in New York, right? So I needed to find other ways to create income for myself. And And so I started to really promote more of my creative services and marketing services, and started to book more clients here. And at some point, I started to make a lot more money with my creative work than I was with my job at La Fonte. And so I had to, choose to continue doing Find Your ID and building Find Your ID full time, because my time was also, it was being pulled in two different directions. So I had to make a decision to move forward and do this and really focus all of my attention and energy on building this. And, it took a leap of faith and, just hope that it would work out. And it did. So, that's kind of how I decided to do this.
No, that is amazing and encouraging, especially even right now, because I know right now a lot of companies and new dreams and visions are being birthed in this moment. We talk about 2020 just being just full of just disappointing, just one disappointment after another. But it has definitely opened up a lot of lanes for us to tap into a lot of creative geniuses and things. So for you in particular, you've just built brand after brand, and I'm talking, girl, you're a superwoman entrepreneur. I'm here for it. One of your projects that you have is your Exchange Fashion Festival that takes place, is it every year in both New York and Milan?
Yep. So it is. It's actually happens twice a year, during Fashion Week in the winter season and also the spring summer. But yeah, it's happening in New York and Milan, and we were planning to do it in South Africa this year, and before the pandemic hit. So we still have South Africa in the works, but that'll be hopefully sometime next year.
Yeah, that's one place Terry and I have both been to together, and we love South Africa. So when the world reopens, we've been trying to find a reason to come back. So let us know. Can we get on the guest list?
You guys are VIP, so.
Do you have a height? Do you have a height cutoff cap? I'll throw on a heels. You know me. I'm short as all can get out, but I'll throw on the outfit.
I just want to be in the atmosphere.
I'm trying to be a trailblazer for the little shorties around here.
Yes.
No, I love that. So how has that, the event, putting on a festival, man, like, girl, and not even just, we're not talking about two locations in, New York and down the street, like, you're like, and then during like one of like the most, it's like the big event for fashion, like during like Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So how does one manage such a vast undertaking along with managing the business and the flow? Girl, you push your wings. What are you doing?
Well, for sure, it's definitely a lot of work. Definitely prayer. Prayer saves things and changes things. So that definitely is, something that I do regularly. But having an event internationally, you need to really have strong connections on the ground. And I was able to really, make Milan happen because I had so many contacts in the city already, that I did have people that could check on things and, just follow up with our venues, follow up with our vendors, speaking the language as well. You can also avoid a lot of those common pitfalls, which are, getting overcharged or getting charged the American price, right? Because they know you're a foreigner and they can actually get away with it. But, definitely having those people on the ground that can help and, really be the face of the project for those individual cities, I would say is kind of the only way. If you don't have a team on the ground that can really help and be there and be physically present, it is almost impossible to do because there's just so many things that can go wrong with events. specifically, you really do need that reinforcement when you feel something's not going the right way, that someone can just go by and check on things. And then planning, we normally start at least 6 months out for our events, our fashion shows. Working in the industry right now, we have an entire directory of models and talent and musicians and visual artists and performers that we worked with in the past and that are eager to work with us as well. And so that always makes these festivals a lot easier when you have direct relationships with the talent that's going to be involved. And then being really, really, just optimistic on things, because there's a lot of things that go wrong even up until the last second. Whereas if you don't have that, perseverance in this industry, it can break you very easily, because you have these amazing plans in your head, and then last minute the venue pulls out, and then you have to find another venue in 2 days. And it's just having different connections in different places. And we've done so many events at this point that we can really pull together an event in a week. And so that makes things a lot easier. But, for sure, just having those contacts, being and remaining super optimistic about whatever the outcome is, just being, open-minded and being flexible to those changes, and being able to really create or be a visionary in the sense where you can create experiences that people will actually enjoy to come to. And that's, identifying the right people, identifying the right, performers and brands to participate, and being able to really predict and foresee any challenges that could happen, and making sure that those things don't happen. So, some of the tips, but there's a lot more for sure.
Yes. And you're tapping into something so why I'm so intrigued is, just in general, because you're just phenomenal. But beyond that, Terry and I have been, toying with the idea of wanting to, and, as we continue to grow, like putting on an actual, maybe not a festival, but more of a kind of live event experience, kind of conference type thing. And I'm not gonna lie, every time that we revisit that conversation, we're like, oh my gosh, can we do this? Can we pull this out here? What do we need to know? And I'm not such a natural planner that it probably may be a little, I might be a little over obsessed. So Terry may be like, okay, you can loosen up a little bit. But I just think about just everything, all the moving parts, the transactional things, the things that you don't necessarily have, that you don't think about, but you have to think about if you need to get, I don't know, for a festival, you probably have to get permits and different things. I don't know. But I just think about all of that combined. I'm like, is it possible for someone like, a small, for us, it doesn't have a big machine behind us that can pull something off, and to see you do this, and you, girl, we look up to you.
Let me tell you something, Yana. That's probably the one area where I am OCD-ish at planning an event. So we might be, if we miss something, good God, because I'm telling you, if it's planning an event, putting something together like that, like an event where people got to be there and have a good time, then I'm thinking like all the little things and all the big things and all the little things.
I understand you put people in place to help you. Like, this is not something that you do on your own, but still, when you're the name or the face behind it, you want to make sure it's
absolutely.
Oh no, I just know.
I get what you're saying, though. And the fact that she's doing it internationally is just, like you said, it's not up the street and around the corner. Like,
right. And like you said, you have those contacts, and you spent time there, the language, so when you're, somebody's trying to jib you or not, or get over on you. They might just be smiling at us and speaking nice Italian. You're like, girl, that gave us a good deal.
Did you say jib? I wonder if Imani knew what you meant when you said that.
Oh,
I know that's why I try.
For sure. Know that word all too well.
Okay.
Oh my God, Karen, you
I'm
have to call
sorry.
me on
I'm
Tuesday.
sorry. She knew what you meant. She knew what you meant. She knew what you meant.
That's Southern
She
twang.
said, "Jim, relax." Oh my goodness. No, everything that you're doing though is amazing, Imani. But you kind of took stuff back to your broadcasting, your journalism roots, where you do these live interview segments called the Pink Talks. Can you share with us exactly what that is? What does Pink stand for? And also, why was it important for you to make sure that you highlighted female entrepreneurs?
Yes, so Pink Talks is honestly my favorite project. It really derived from something that I noticed in the New York City event industry, and it was really that there weren't many spaces that were open for women creatives and women entrepreneurs. And then when you do see them, they're very small, or it wasn't really directed towards women of color or diverse women. And so, really try to fill the gap in that area and provide a safe space for women creatives, and especially women of color creatives that would like to network and connect with each other and build a community around those brands. So pink is really just the color that we often associate with femininity, but Pink NYC is a platform, and it's a platform for goddesses, as we promote it, a platform for goddesses to connect and explore and discover. And so we started doing it with the vinyl. The vinyl was our main venue partner for over a year. And over a year and up until the pandemic hit. And basically we were doing it once a week, and every Wednesday everybody would dress up and wear the color pink. And we would have a lineup of all women creatives. So that could be poets, could be dancers, it could be authors, it could be designers, fashion designers. You might come to Pink and see a full-on fashion show with women designers. You might see, a author signing or reading. You might see a dance battle. But every week that we did it, we tried to have a different theme around it. And sometimes we would have a bunch of themes at one time, which is great. We did a pink carpet event for New York Fashion Week that featured 4 women designers. And Pink really became its own entity outside of Find Your ID. We planned to do it one time, and the response was just so amazing that we decided to keep doing it. And almost 300-400 people every time were coming out to this event. We were able to work with charities as well. We did a event that was called Purses for Purpose. And to get into that Pink event, everybody bought a purse full of women's sanitary items that they could use. And that was the entrance for the day. And then we were able to donate that to an organization that actually provided those purses with women to women. And then the event got so popular that Airbnb Concerts actually reached out to us and said they wanted us to join the platform. And then we started to host it through Airbnb. So now if you wanted to see the latest updates on that event, you could actually go to Airbnb's experience page, and you'll be able to see Pink NYC on there. And then once the pandemic hit, we started to do Pink Talks, which was a spinoff of Pink, where every Sunday we would sit down and interview one of our women creatives or entrepreneurs and have them tell their story, promote their brands. We offer free advertising to members of the Pink community. So we also promote women-owned products on the platform, and really just give a platform and a voice to these women and these entrepreneurs.
Imani. Girl. Okay. I just love that you lead with everything with service.
Mm-hmm.
And with your businesses, through all your initiatives, through all your projects, it always has this service component, like you lead with that, how you can give back or how you can serve. So I love that. And everything that you were saying about like Pink Talks is much bigger than what I was, thinking. And just the way that you give through that's like its own organization within itself.
It is, honestly, it is. It really is. And I wasn't expecting it to turn into this, but that just shows you there's such a need for it. Women were so attracted to the idea that they just wanted us to keep doing it. And that was really the motivation to, keep doing them more frequently, to continue doing the Pink Talks, because, the Pink events were really self-financed. So we were paying for everything out of pocket and really doing it to give back to the woman creative community. So eventually I would love to actually make Pink its own organization, because I feel that it definitely needs that. And we would be able to do so much more if we did go ahead and go that route. But yeah, we definitely started it and continue to host it with that in mind, that, we need to allow women a space to come together and to spread love and to really connect and share their projects. So yeah, the Pink community is amazing.
Yes, we love that. And if there is any way that through our brand, through Melanie Conversations, because that's all we stand for, is highlighting not even just female entrepreneurs, but, Black women in general, and just highlighting all the great works and things that they're doing, and just creating the space, a lane for us to celebrate all the great things that we contribute to this earth. So I don't know if there's a way that we can connect and assist with some of those efforts, but
yeah, I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah,
love to do something.
Yes. That is amazing. And if y'all don't know, there is more to Imani's story. She is building, man, this house is just...
It's like an infomercial, but wait, there's more.
There is more. There's definitely more. And I don't want to get into that. So again, like I mentioned, right now we are all tapping into our creative geniuses. It seems like you just live in your creative zone. So I know your organization, your company recently launched a project, Shop Local Designers, as a result of, the shifts that presented through this pandemic. Can you share a little bit about that and how you're assisting local brands through this initiative?
Yes, definitely. So Shop Local Designers is really a collective of designers, emerging and established brands that are really looking to rewire the fashion industry and take it back to its roots, which is in sustainability, creating a platform for local brands to really be highlighted and move away from fast fashion so much, and tell more of the stories behind some of these artisan products. So if you take a look at our website, you can actually check out our interviews with these designers. So we do video interviews with them. We have a magazine that we produce around these brands as well, and also that highlights local boutiques in different areas. And every week we actually highlight a different region. So if you check out the site, you can see that it's divided from cities. So you can actually shop designers by each international fashion city. And you can also check out the trends in each of those cities as well and find out about local designers that make them. So our platform is really unique, and we just launched that actually over the summer in response to the pandemic. A lot of the brands that we were already working with from our fashion shows, from the different pop-ups we were doing, didn't really have a internet or online digital presence. And, as you all probably are familiar, it's very hard to gain traffic to your website if you don't have a hefty marketing budget. On average, you'll be spending $1,500 a month on digital marketing, right? And that's just for the strategists. That's not even including the money that you need to put into the ads, right? The Google ads. So
Yeah,
Right,
all about
exactly.
that.
So a lot of new brands just simply can't afford that service, and so they have, even if they do have a website, they're probably not making any sales to the website. So this is again a collective approach, and it's similar to the events that we were doing, where we really did want to band together these brands and help to promote them um, all through this platform, and through our social media strategies, and also through the magazine publication that we're doing with it.
Imani, my goodness, like you are amazing. You are so, so amazing. Do you mind me asking, how old are you? And if you don't want that out there,
I knew you were gonna ask me that. I knew that was the next question. I knew it.
if you don't want the world to know,
No,
you don't have to. You
You
can
can
be
say it
like,
in
no,
Italian. No.
right.
right. So actually, this is my birthday month, so super excited about that.
Yay.
I'm gonna be 27 on the 27th of this month.
Girl.
So
Like 2
yeah.
Girl, 27.
What have I been doing in my life?
I mean, good grief. That is amazing in itself. You man, kudos, hats off. You making your family proud. I'm sure your family is so, so proud of you. That is amazing. I love things we love to see. Like it really makes my heart happy when I hear like younger women like trailblazing and really out here making moves. You're not making moves, you're making waves. No, seriously, you're making waves and you are dominating everything. And it's, I mean, sometimes there's an oversaturation of certain people in certain, you know what I mean? They just take up all the space. You take up all the space, but in the best way possible. And I love it. And I need you to keep taking up space. You know what I'm saying? So I can be like, I know her. I met her there one time. Like I love everything that you're doing. Yeah.
Yes. It's been a journey. But definitely learning so much along the way. And I do feel that it was for sure in me. Like my dad always says, you were selling candy in high school. And I really did. I had a whole business around selling candy to all of the basketball teams that I was going.
She was that kid. She was that kid.
All the wholesale candy, taking it to school. So, I mean, I knew that I was going to have like an entrepreneurial journey. So
yes.
it's definitely in the genes for sure.
To those who are listening, especially to our youngest listeners, a candy bar can take you far.
Don't knock it. Don't knock it, for it.
Come on.
Oh, no, we love it. Thank you, Imani, for sharing so much. Not even just today on the show, but just in general, sharing so much of you and your you. I imagine that with all the different things that you are taking on, that it does maybe take away some personal from you, like because you have to put so much into these things. And I applaud you for giving so much in all the things that you do. And I hope that you are definitely giving yourself some space for grace and some time. I say this because, Taryn gave me this eye because she knows that I can sometimes like bury myself in work, and I'm just so goal driven that I just want to get it done. I want to do it right. And just want, but yeah, I know that I'm taking notes from you, so I just need to. I probably need to give you advice in that space, but I do hope that you are finding, things that, keep you, happy and moving. So
absolutely. This has been great. But before we officially close the show, we always give our guests I'm just bumbling and I cannot speak today. We have to edit all that out.
She just blown our minds out.
Good, I'm telling you, good googly moogly. We always ask our guests a few closing questions. And so my first closing question for you is, what is your power word for 2020, or phrase or a few words that, have inspired you or kept you going this year, especially this year of all the years?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I would say for sure at the start of the year, it was definitely abundance. And I was really, trying to move towards that this year in all of my endeavors and really seeing completion in a lot of my projects as well, which was right before the pandemic hit. And then I was saying, okay, let's take some time and let's reconnect. Let's reconnect with people, with friends and family. Much to what Yana was saying earlier, definitely that's something that I haven't been able to do as much of throughout my career because of just the time that it takes to put into all of these projects. But really have been trying to reconnect more with my family and friends this year and really just ground myself and try to create more of a healthy balance between work and family and also things that I like to do, passion projects as well. So for sure, the word for this year now I would say is balance. But at the beginning of the year was abundance. So maybe I could find a balance in between.
I love that. And how abundance is showing up for you this year. Karen, that's our word. Abundance.
Abundance.
Exactly, abundance. Right? It just rolls off the tongue.
I like it.
No, I love it. And I love that you are seeking that balance. Because yes, like you mentioned, you're so giving to everyone else that, will love that you give that same back to yourself, in return. So good. I'm glad that is going well for you. And you kind of touched on this earlier in the show. I was going to ask, did you have any new works or projects going on for 2020? And I know you mentioned that you just launched a clothing brand, right?
Yes. So the clothing brand is actually, it's called Color Co. And most of the designs, all of the designs are being created by my team. And, with Find Your ID, we actually have an entire team of craft designers. So I'm doing the creative direction. And then I work with my designers on the graphics for those pieces. And we just launched a new collection. We're going to be in Atlanta on the 30th of October, which is going to be the Color Co. launch party. We're able to get the brand into 2 stores already, which is amazing. And yeah, so we're gonna be presenting. The theme of this collection is actually called "Protect Our Black Queens," and it was inspired by everything that's been happening to Black women this year, especially Breonna Taylor and the countless others that have been victimized from police brutality. And so this collection is really to have a message, have clothing delivered with a message. And so all of the pieces say "Protect Our Black Queens" on it. And we have different female figures that are rocking Afro-futuristic hairstyles. And so you have like really amazing portraits with that powerful phrase underneath. So definitely check the website. It's going to be available. It's already available exclusively on the Shop Local Designers page. And you can check the designer page, which says Color Co. And then I would love to actually send you both some merch as well, because I think you are perfect examples of Black queens. So we'd love to share that with you.
Oh my God. Terry, I'm the cry. So
no, she was explaining the concept and I was like, what is that? What is my eyes are wet? And I don't do that.
Oh.
No.
My eyes over here sweating.
Girl. Oh my goodness. Yes. And even more. Yes. Imani.
Yeah.
Girl.
We need to stop asking, what are you doing? And just start asking, what are you not?
I mean, the list would be a lot shorter for sure.
Oh my God. I love I love the whole premise behind it. And when you were saying that, I was like, oh, Terry, I can't wait to get on.
I was like, I need to go as soon as we get off. I want to look and see what you got.
It domain.
Yes. I would definitely ship you guys some merch for sure.
Oh, bless you. This is, my goodness. Okay, last question. I can't even focus right now.
We in super fangirl mode right now. I'm
like seriously. Okay. My final question for you, Imani. How can our listeners connect with you and your work? So any social handles, websites, any of that, you want to go ahead and shout that stuff out, and we will make sure that it is linked on our website and our blog post.
Yes. So my personal Instagram is Jones, like my last name, and then New York, which is spelled out. And then our website is fydnyc.com for our creative agency. And then it's shoplocaldesigners.com for the eCommerce platform. And you can find all of our merch for Color Co on Shop Local Designers. So those are our handles. Oh, and if you want to check out Pink NYC, there's a separate Instagram page, which is just the name PYNK NYC. And you can see all of the Pink Talks coming up, and definitely tune in for those as well.
Perfect.
Yes, love it. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Imani. We so appreciate this conversation. This was definitely I don't know if, Terry and I, we joke a lot and we like to laugh and have fun, but no, seriously, like, you are truly an inspiration. And
thank you so much.
Just keep moving in the way that you are, and you know that there are just more phenomenal things coming your way. We're definitely wanna have our eyes on you. Hopefully we can actually meet in person once all this is over, and maybe participate in an event, or be in the scene, just be in the scenery.
Just be in the scenery.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. For sure. I'm going to invite you guys. We're going to be doing we're going to be starting to do our in-person event soon for Pink. We have a new space that we're going to be using for it. It will be, social distanced, and definitely a lot fewer people than we typically have, but I'll send you guys the invites for the first one once we start it up.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, you're so kind. So kind.
Really we got to close out our show now, because I'm just like, we can keep talking, but we're not gonna hold you. So you guys, again, we'll have everything linked to Imani and all the great things that she is working on and has in the works, so you can be plugged in with her. Of course, all that will be on our website at melindaconversations.com. So please be sure to check that out. But again, it was such a joy to have you, Imani, on the show. And to you, our listeners, we thank you for always rocking with us as, we continue to move in this initiative of amplifying the beautiful voices of our Black women, our Black queens that are just moving, shaking in this world. It's always our mission to celebrate our successes, and, just learn from each other. So thank you for always, supporting us in those efforts. I don't have anything else, because if I continue to talk, I may eventually get to a crying spell in a minute. But you have anything, Terry, before we close out?
No. This is great. It was an absolute honor to chat with you, to meet you today. Yes, this was great. I loved and enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you, Imani, for saying yes to us.
Yes.
And,
yes, thank you guys.
No, that's all I got, Yana. That's it.
Until next time, you guys.
Melanate on that.
Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our chat today. Keep the conversation going by heading to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leaving us a review.
Have a story of your own to share? email us at info@melanatedconversations.com or connect with us on social media at Melanated Conversations. Till next time, keep raising your voice.